Well,
Ready.
we used to meet at 7.
All right.
We used to have
I'd like
it,
to
yeah.
call the regular meeting of the Columbia Gorge ESD Board of Directors, Wednesday, March 2026 to order following the Budget Committee meeting.
Flag salute.
Oh, thank you. You're ahead of me, Susie.
Well, I thought we were going to do it for budget. We didn't, so
You've been waiting.
Yes. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Any introductions?
Nobody knew.
Nobody.
Nobody's here.
I'm going to take a board chair prerogative.
Oh,
You know, we
gosh,
have-
what does that mean?
That means I'm going to deviate from the budget or from the agenda.
Okay.
We have places for other people to comment. We don't have a place for board comments. And I'd like to add that to the agenda as item 3 from now on, if the rest of the board is agreeable to that. You don't have to add anything. It's just a chance if there's something.
Yes, that should definitely be.
You know,
Like it was just such a beautiful drive down the gorge to get here that I should tell you about it. Okay.
Or yeah, or you, whatever the case.
No,
But
I understand what you're saying.
You know, you may have come across something.
Oh, yes.
at one of our programs or.
Attended a conference.
I did.
Et cetera, that you would like to add. So I'd like to add it today. And who would like to talk about the conference they attended?
Yeah.
All right, Stacy, and then Susie, and then Paul, do you want to bring it up? Okay, just go ahead.
So this is from now on, it will be.
From now on, I'm adding it today.
Right now.
From
This
on.
moment on.
I enjoyed the drive back and forth with Susie. That was one of the highlights. I thought it actually was my favorite of all the conferences I've attended as a ESD board member. I thought it was really well run and well timed. Lots and lots of options, almost too many options for pull-out sessions. And everyone I attended, I really loved. And Maria, I was so proud of how you
me too.
represented our ESD.
That's what I
and
was
the
going to
work-
say now.
the work you do. That's just a really exciting program you're working on with the CTE, and I was really grateful to hear more about it. And I'm grateful that, a very nice fringe benefit is to be put up in a nice place and
Oh.
get to do early morning walks in Sun River and eat the food, and the whole thing was great. I really.
However, Susan, in case you ever talk to them, when we approached this wonderful condo, the door was open.
The door was unlocked.
And it was very strange that we didn't know who was inhabiting in there. It could have been a moose or something.
We did kind of holler, is anyone in there?
We're coming in now, 2 women here.
Like someone else
Afraid.
was already in there.
Yeah, we
Like,
thought that
had the
it had just
room
been a-
double
yeah.
booked
That
or
happened to me
something.
going into a conference once.
Yeah.
You know, but it was funny.
Yeah.
Somebody sleeping in the bed.
I'm just trying to find the name
Oh,
of the gentleman.
Goldilocks.
Huh?
What was the name of the gentleman that was the speaker?
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay, I can't remember.
Susie,
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm looking for what the name of I too enjoyed going with Stacy. It was, it's different when you go with your husband and you don't talk, It was nice. He's doing one thing, I'm doing another. It was just nice. We enjoyed learning about each other and talking all the way. But like I said, the plus was the wonderful condo that we stayed in. She slept upstairs, I slept downstairs, so it was very nice. And the weather, we thought it was going to be bad. It said it was going to be like, I don't know, 40 and with a low of 31. So I packed everything and didn't need it all, but the conference itself was great. They said right at the beginning that this was the biggest conference they have ever had. And so I sat there thinking, because really almost all the tables were full. And I thought, you know what? We're all in the same boat, figuring what the hell is going to happen. Well, with everything that's going on, they all need encouragement, and they all need information, and they all need to share and find out, what are you doing and how is your board, reacting to the changes, and how are your staff doing, and are they okay, and that kind of stuff. So I really felt a sense of camaraderie with all of the groups. And the speakers were phenomenal, as were the vendors, got some lovely little things. I can't remember the name of the kid, but all I know is when he walks in, he looks like Howie Mandel, you know, with that little hat sitting on his head. But he didn't use, what's his name?
Paul.
Paul, yeah.
Of
He didn't,
course.
he didn't use anything to help. He just talked. But he also alluded to the fact that he's going to be going here and the next day, there, the next day, there, the next day. So, I mean, he's just doing this. But I thought he was so phenomenal that he should be used by schools for the opening in service when the staff comes back, because he was just amazing. And in fact, all the groups, like so many times, Stacy and I find things that don't really pertain to us per se, you know. But I went on one that was the board secretary with the superintendent. And I thought that I just gave my perspective from 22 years ago of when I last, you know, how it was in the 70s to the early 2000s. And it was interesting to share and find out how others are doing. And I just came away, next year's going to be my last year. So came away feeling
What?
really good that we are doing so well, but everybody was talking. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it wasn't like people were really engaged in giving out what they really felt, and they all wanted to make it the best place that they can work and take care of kids. So I was really impressed.
You back up, you said next year's your
Uh-huh.
last year. What are you announcing?
Well, I already told, because I won't be going my term is up June 30th, 2027, and I'm not running in May.
Oh.
So I didn't want to be like Jenny Copper. I didn't want someone trying to get me to resign a couple years later. You know, 83, I think, is enough to stop. You know, well, it's just that I'm having some cognitive issues and I don't want to embarrass myself. So I just thought, and I have a really good person I'm going to be seeing. My neighbor across the street
Okay.
has worked in the Dalles before, and so I'm going to talk to her to see if she'd feel like running in a year. So
And this gives us party planning time.
Oh.
yeah, no, I'm not just saying that. I'm just saying that's if I didn't go to a session next year, I'm glad I went to this one because it culminated. Because I spent 28 years, you know, in the Hood River School District, and then another 20 something here. So it's culminated my view of how we have ascended and done so well,
Right.
you know, so.
Well, I think congratulations, you're moving into retirement, but
Well, that's what someone asked me. When did you retire? It says 2022. I mean, 2002. And he says, well, what have you been doing? Well, I've been working the ESD board and the Education Foundation, and you know, but that's how you are. I'm not going to sit home and eat bonbons.
Although you can after next
But
year.
my husband would like to start doing something besides watching me work. So.
Well, I'd have to say that it was very well attended. They did a cutoff. There were some people they had to say, sorry, you're late.
oh,
And they did turn them away. I will say that the executive directorship of OASD is in very capable and very good hands with Sam.
Oh, yes, he did a great
He's-
job.
Runs a good meeting when they had the governance council meeting itself. Plus the fact that he's a very likable individual.
Okay.
Very goal directed, doesn't waste a lot of time with extraneous materials. The conference itself, I went to one session that I would say wasn't good, but the others I went to were very well done. Even Mari's.
Oh, come on.
Actually,
As well as. not even.
we decided we would all go to Mari's session to give her support. And she did an exceptionally fine job.
And mostly I just wanted to hear what they have going.
Yeah. I would say that I had no disappointments. I enjoyed the refreshing weather. It was 30 a couple of days, but you expect it in the high desert. And it's May, it's not July. I didn't see that many golfers out golfing either, which is kind of refreshing too. We had to compete with firefighters. they were having their spring conference there as well. And it was the,
Yeah.
And it
I
just,
guess they wanted to be close.
just meant that we were seeing a lot of.
Yeah, really. You had to run in
And
and
to see the
yeah.
people.
yeah, they actually, it was interesting for me since I'm a old firefighter. They had a number of pieces of new equipment that they had also that they were demonstrating. And I saw a four-wheel drive unit that was wonderful. I also saw the price tag on it at almost $300,000. But anyway,
Big boys and their big toys.
oh, yes, yes. And I saw a couple of people that I know from the Hood River County. So,
Okay.
but it was a very well-attended conference and very well done.
Great. Diane, you have any comments?
Well, I did not attend because I took a trip the week of before to Nashville with a son and grandson. And so I did not call in a yes for this one trip. And so next year I'll definitely be coming. I did hear it was wonderful.
Any comment?
It's lovely to be with all of you.
Okay, we'll just make that, Susan, just make that a part of our agenda. I also saw we had a request to add an item to the agenda, discussion item. Stephanie, I think it was your request, and do you want to explain that?
Can I do that when it fits?
Oh, no, but what's your request?
My request is to talk about our website.
Okay, so we'll put that under discussion.
Yes.
Okay, let's get on with the reports. Paul, OAESD.
Okay, we had the governance council meeting on the first day or first afternoon that was scheduled to last a couple hours, did not last that long. Again, a lot of it because Sam, he does a very good job of running it. I would say that nothing really shocking. A couple of bylaw changes we voted in. We voted in on the budget. We talked about a few things that they're changing from Lynn Benton Lincoln as the financial agent to MESD, which is Sam's old area. So there's some changes that will take place there, but I would think that almost any ESD would be able to handle what we do on a regular basis without much difficulty. But having Sam as the person makes it even more special, I think, because he is so goal directed. I think that's about it.
Yeah, there'll be a memorandum of understanding coming to you all in June because they are switching fiscal agents from Lynn Benton to Multnomah ESD.
Oh,
There's a
right,
new,
right.
There's a new insurance form that all ESDs need
Have
to
to find,
approve.
yeah.
And so that'll be coming to you at that June meeting.
Yep.
Okay.
And then basically all of the employees of OAESD are being laid off from Lynn Benton and then rehired at Multnomah. There's only 3.
Oh, okay.
It's small, but I'll tell you, this conference, man, they pulled it off.
Yep.
It was amazing.
I talked a little bit about upcoming long legislative session. Didn't really talk much on the prognostication of whether it's going to be RD or anything like that, but just that we have to make sure we monitor and make sure that, like I've told everybody, find out who your representatives and senators are and at least make them know that you're a face and not just a face in the crowd.
Okay. All right, thank you. Dina?
All right. I wrote this thing a long time ago. So I'll just do a couple of highlights. I am really excited about what happened with our summer learning grants. I know that there have been some districts in the news lately that have been complaining, but we did really well. All 4 of our component districts have summer school grants for the next 3 summers. We'll be serving over 1,000 students in that summer school program. Courtney serves another 450, give or take, in migrant education. And then on top of that, Hood River has their own migrant education summer school program. And so we have lots of students that are going to have a lot of summer activities and opportunities. the fact that we coordinated and that Hood River and South Wasco ended up in a consortium together.
Really?
Well, because that allowed Hood River to take advantage of South
Oh,
Wasco's
great.
score rating,
Oh, pay.
which
Okay.
meant that Hood River had a better chance of receiving a grant. And if they worked with us as a consortium, and it worked.
That makes sense.
We all ended up getting grants. And so I'm very, very excited about that.
Is that 600,000, was that just for Dufur and North Wasco?
It's for South Wasco and Hood River.
Is 600,000 in our budget?
Yeah, actually, our summer learning grant, I believe, is actually a little bit more than that.
Actually, I noticed that and I was
Yeah.
like, somehow.
And so, yeah, it is,
Will be
So how much are we getting?
720.
737, I believe, is
So
what
we're-
we ended up with
We're the fiscal agent for all of the summer learning grants
for Hood River and Moppet.
and North Wasco.
And Mosier went together. They did their own.
And so
Okay,
they're
so
their
we-
own fiscal agent.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
Okay.
Dufur did their own individually, and they're their own fiscal agent.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right.
But what's coming into the region, I think, is what I'm really excited about. And then in most cases, Gina's now trying to find enough nurses to cover all of these summer programs.
Gosh.
Because there's a lot of things that happen in the summertime.
Okay, imagine.
If you took a look at election results, there were 10. Oh, go ahead.
And are the summer learning grants just for students who qualify, or are they wide open for anybody? What do we know about the eligibility of students to participate?
For migrant education, they have to meet the requirements of the migrant program. For North Wasco, I know that they're inviting students to have a certain score to
Yeah.
boost up scores, and that's all I can speak
Yeah.
to.
It depends on what they wrote in their grant application. So some of them are doing what's called Jumpstart Kindergarten. So they might be inviting all the incoming kindergartners to come in a couple weeks before school starts.
That's a great idea.
Elementary, it's predominantly kids that, based on their interim assessment scores, need a boost. High school kids, it's often credit recovery, but it's all based on what they wrote in their grant that they were going to target.
Okay.
And it varies from 100 students to 450 students, district to district.
But they were identified as needing this grant because of the literacy scores.
Okay.
That's the
Side-
number
side
one
effect.
priority. Yeah.
If you followed election results, there were 10 either bonds or levies across the state. 5 passed, 5 look like they're not going to pass. Predominantly ones that were replacement taxes, so replacement levies or bonds passed, and ones that were new did not, which also follows what happened with the gas tax at the state level, which could end up having some impact on our
Will have.
on our overall budget.
And I might add, as usual in the case of Hood River, since 1994, we have passed every tax that has come around. We like taxes.
Sound like Portland.
Except for
No, we do it better in Portland.
So
Both the new swimming pool as well as the activity tax, both passed by a good margin.
the other thing that came out today is the June, I realize it's May, but the June revenue forecast came out. And it was relatively positive, all things concerned. For the most part, it has to do with what our state economist feels we will regain in personal income tax next year, because during the short session, we decoupled from several segments of the federal tax code. But it puts us in a better place to be looking at that 27-29 biennium. The governor still has one more revenue forecast that she will be looking at. And honestly, the Ways and Means Committee is going to wait all the way until next February when they get the 7th revenue forecast before they will make their final decisions. A big thing for us all to continue to look for is that many of the changes in HR 1, the big beautiful bill, to Medicaid and to SNAP will not take effect until after the midterm elections in November. And so we could continue to see pretty volatile changes to our state budget, depending on how folks do with navigating the changes to Medicaid and SNAP eligibility. And it's just something for us all to continue to advocate for. I was at an in-person off-the-record meeting, which is superintendents from around the state, and then in person at OAESD. And we're all talking about what our legislative priorities are going to be for the long session coming up. And there is going to be in October, in conjunction with an ESD superintendent meeting, an opportunity for 2, potentially 3 of you to come for a half a day to Bend in October to participate in an advocacy summit. They're going to run the meeting from like 10 to 2 so that it would be easy for people to potentially drive in. But we'll have our lobbyists there, and they'll be talking to board members and to superintendents about how we can all work together to advocate and lobby for adequate school funding in the long session coming up. And that's something new.
Yeah. This advocacy summit will happen in Bend on October 7th. Discussion at legislative committee for information about who our legislators are, what committees they serve on, and how to best connect with them. Each ESD superintendent and 2 board members, please attend.
So that's something that Sam and his team, I
Yep.
think they're really working hard to put us out in front of things. You'll also see that we have for your approval our ESD calendar for 26-27. One change to note is that you all know we have 2 all-staff days. And one of them has always been in August, and one of them has been somewhere around spring break. And the one in August has been rough because particularly for our health services team and for our technology team, and honestly, for many of our teams that are providing professional development, it's right when all of our component school districts are starting school. And it's really challenging. And so I'm not one to make rash decisions. So I kind of watched how things rolled for the last year or so. But in cabinet a week or so ago, we took a look at our component school district calendars, and we made the decision that our all-staff day for the fall would be in September. I feel like it will allow us to better serve our component districts, and it will allow our staff to more fully participate in that all-staff day when they're not feeling like they have 200 help desk tickets rolling in while they're sitting at a staff meeting.
When I read it, I breathed a sigh of relief for everybody.
So-
But I do want to make sure, and I'm sure he will, and no doubt, because it's who he is, there will be some sort of a welcome back process. Kind of a, hello, we're glad to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course.
okay.
Yeah.
We will have a health and benefit fair in August. It will be advertised to all of our staff. Our directors will know not to schedule any staff meetings during that time. We're coordinating with North Wasco School District because they use the same benefit providers.